Okay, this section we're going to deal with now is about mixing. Mixing is a really complicated topic, so what I'm going to try and do is give you as many hints and as little time as possible about how to set up your mixer and some things to look out for, and also how to use some of the basic tools of mixing, EQs, compressors, reverbs, things like that. So let's get into it and get through as much stuff as possible.
So let me give you a couple suggestions that I've learned that I see to be standards. One, on a kick drum, usually the low end, kind of the boom of the low end, is somewhere between, I'd say, 60 cycles and like 110 cycles. You'll sweep through that range and you'll find kind of a sweet point for a given kick. So you could boost that up. We don't want to go too high. We went over there. That's pretty low. That gives that big tubby kick. So you find the frequency that you like on that kick, and it could be down in that low area somewhere, and really it's up to your ears in terms of what you like. And then you might back off your EQ a bit so you're not overgaining the low end. And once again, having it in relation to your other tracks is a good idea. Usually with kick drums, there's a bit of mud between like 200 cycles and about 500 or 600 cycles, so I usually like to dip out those muddier frequencies. And then depending on the type of music you're doing, you can add some snap in the high end, anywhere from, all the way down to 1K up to 10K. Like I've heard a lot of heavy metal stuff that just has a ton of 10K on the kick to give it that really, really aggressive snap sound. On the snare drum, often I like this particular snare. The top of the snare drum is not where the snares are, right? It's just the top of the drum. So if you want a little more kind of low-end bonk, as I like to call it, in the snare drum, you might add somewhere between like 150 to 300 cycles, like I have going on here. The top of the snare, added a little bonk in there, and also a little bit of high-end sizzle to it as well. Now, with your overhead microphones, if you have a lot of low frequencies in your overhead mics, it might kind of have a phase battle with what's going on with your snare and kick and make everything just sound muddy. So I often like to roll off the low end in my overheads just to clear up the overall picture of the drum set. The same with the room mics as well. These are my two room mics here, and you can see that I have the low frequencies rolled off at 220 cycles.